Crossing the Bering Strait, which was frozen, they reached America. Recent studies indicate that the whole of current humanity is descended from about 200 individuals who stepped out of Africa.
Hi, you guys. This is girl, lady, motherfucking Sagittarius.
And who even paints.
How is everybody fucking doing to motherfucking day? Oh my goodness.
We are at the Gabon Museum in the Gabon Mines Archaeological Park. The building evokes the image of the same hut found on any archaeological excavation in the world. Here, there are a set of structured mines with the oldest galleries ever discovered in Europe. Excavations are still taking place, and occasionally, new galleries are discovered. For over 1,000 years, Vericite, a greenish mineral that was used in creating jewelry and offered in exchange for other goods, was extracted. When a sector of a gallery was abandoned, it was used as landfill. From these landfills, various items were recovered. There are the remains of burials, everyday objects, tools, and jewelry, like this necklace made of pieces of Vericite. The most valuable item in the museum is this Venus, one of the few religious figures preserved from the Neolithic age. This female figure, another mother, represents fertility and the fertility of the soil. Mineral extraction, to which this evocative museum is dedicated, was then the only interesting thing that came from below the ground. Scientific interest would appear much later. During the Renaissance, just 6 seconds ago on the calendar, when everything seemed tailor-made for man, Leonardo da Vinci was dedicated to studying landscapes with an artistic and at the same time scientific eye. This made him wonder about what was hidden below the ground. Leonardo was obsessed with water. Leonardo's final paintings are disturbing depictions of floods and storms. He thought the erosion he observed in landscapes was caused by water, a water which was being recycled thanks to a type of underground system of veins. Believing water to be to the world what blood is to our bodies. The large-scale exploitation of the subsoil began with the Industrial Revolution 3 seconds ago. Coal was fuel, and the need for it became essential. The contributions of the first geologists were, then, decisive. In 1830, Charles Lyell, another Scottish naturalist, published the book Principles of Geology, which takes up and develops the ideas of his compatriot James Hutton. Lyell wrote, "The present is the key to the past." A few years later, the English biologist Charles Darwin published another landmark book, On the Origin of Species, which laid the foundation of evolutionary theory. Darwin acknowledged that Lyell's book had a powerful impact on him. The theories discussed in the two books have a common denominator: geological time. Another significant contribution to geology and archaeology is the absolute dating techniques discovered in the 20th century, which allow scientists to calculate the age of material from the past.
Oh, you bitch!
On the fact that certain chemical elements, such as carbon-14, decays at a known rate. Therefore, knowing the proportion in an object, the amount of time that has elapsed can be deduced. Like an hourglass, where we know the amount of sand that has fallen, we know how much there was at the beginning.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Furthermore, the dates of the event are indicated on the pages of this book.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Here rise formidable cliffs made of
I hate this fucking app. Yes,
a kind of plaster, a sediment formed from the remains of single-celled animals.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this EME dusty, crunchy, booty ass
This material has become worn and crumbles at a rate of 1 centimeter a year, although occasionally very large blocks shear off and fall into the sea. This site has important symbolic value for English people. The White Cliffs were like fortresses against the invaders who threatened the island. They currently surround a major port and a bustling city, presided over by those defensive constructions of yesteryear. Under the sea can be found the same white, waterproof, and easy-to-dig material, which affords a significant advantage when it comes to.
It's too late to apologize. Oh yeah, follow me on Lobby, Lobby app, y'all. I can add them to 8 people on live. I'm live streaming on here on this I forgot the damn app called.
Permits easy access from below.
Bitch, why I gotta install it?
The tunnel is a work that is representative of the advances in applied geology, but there are many more. The pick and shovel have given way to huge tunneling machines and transports. If outer space is limitless, so is the space below ground. Today, the most exploited underground product is oil. Modern societies depend on it in a way that is considered to be excessive because of the side effects involved in obtaining it. The resulting gases from the massive burning of fossil fuels enter the atmosphere and create a layer that retains the heat. Then, a greenhouse effect makes the temperature rise. Everything is connected. This increase in temperature might result in a change in the circulation of the oceanic currents and, as a consequence, a climactic change similar to a glaciation of half.
Bitch, I don't give a fuck about getting seen.
Another consequence of this thermal increase is the fusion of the frozen soil found in the Siberian permafrost. When melting, permafrost
Bitch, you like
often
it, dude.
violently liberates enormous quantities of methane, a greenhouse gas. More and more explosions
bitch.
of this type are being detected. Dependency on fossil fuels could also have repercussions for the Earth's interior. For example, in a recent technique known as fracking, where water at high pressure is pumped into the subsoil so that it expels the gas that it contains. However, it is not yet clear if the Earth's subsoil can be squeezed like a sponge without consequences. The fact is that the evidence of climatic and geological changes as a result of human activity is accumulating. Dinosaurs took a few of our calendar days to evolve and become the first terrestrial predators. So far, the fragile mammal has been at the top of the pyramid for only 2 minutes. It is intent on plundering everything which is of use to it from under the ground. It has been 4,600,000,000 years since the Earth was born. At present, it is in a period of good weather. But how will it evolve?
Then my ass is thick.
The fate of Earth is linked.
Shut
to
up,
the sun.
bitch.
The sun is approximately halfway.
Talk about
through
open.
its
Spend
life.
some money, broke nigga. Fuck you talking
In
about.
about 5
Broke
billion
bitch.
years,
So ugly.
when it runs out of fuel, the sun will swell up, and it will gobble up the whole solar system. It will turn into a giant red star, and end up as a giant white dwarf of dust. The Earth will have disappeared hundreds of millions of years before this happens. So the Earth is also more or less in the middle of its history. Thus, its geological time will run for another 4,600 million years.
Send me some diamonds.
The movement of the tectonic plates will continue to redistribute continents. The Atlantic Ocean will be as big as the Pacific Ocean. The Mediterranean will end up closing, and a new mountain range similar to the Himalayas will take shape. The continents will eventually coalesce into a single platform, a new Pangaea. Meanwhile, new volcanoes will rise.
Yeah, y'all follow me on Lobby, y'all.
Meteorites
I'm talking to my streamers on this other app.
climate will change. New catastrophes will once again cause the extinction of species.
Oh my gosh.
Among the few that survive, very likely be the cyanobacteria, waiting for a new opportunity to restart the history of life. In the end, the Earth will be as it began, an incandescent mass containing the atoms that were part of every human being who ever inhabited it. But this view is too far into the future for a person, the life of whom occupies only half a second of the calendar. What can you expect to happen in human time, the time of people and cities? We're in Barcelona. This is the head office of the Institut Cartogràfic i Geològic de Catalunya.
Chefs, let's take it up another level. More urgency. Order! What's your bag? Who took my tray? Is my on fire?
Not yet, no.
FX is the bag. All episodes now streaming only on Hulu.
I'm the fashion editor at Vice, and today you're at my house because I'm babysitting for my parents' sugar gliders. I know that they're from Australia. They're marsupials. They're closely related to koalas. They're called sugar gliders because of their preference for nectarous foods. They basically just eat fruit and insects. I'm feeding them peach yogurt. They hate all other flavors though, which is weird. Very easy to take care of. Apples, Gatorade, and Korean, and maybe some yogurt. Their tails are so long because they can actually use them to wrap around things. And they have these crazy long tongues too, they're like this long. They clean themselves, you see them huddled up in a ball together, just like licking each other. They have little flaps underneath with their arms, and put it on a high ledge, they fly off. No, you're not going to my class. When we first got them, it took a while to get used to them because they would just jump on you. And sometimes if you're not turned the right way, they'll jump into your hair and just like dangle there. Yeah. During the day, I let them crawl around because they're normally really tame and sleepy. So they're not trying to experiment. They actually sleep most of the day. They're nocturnal, so they wake up at 10 p.m. normally. And they go to bed around 10 p.m. But every now and then they wake up during the day just to play, and then they go back to sleep. But when they're awake for like 12 hours. They love this wheel, which is extremely loud. Because they're awake all night, it's a little difficult taking care of them in a studio apartment. And then occasionally at night they'll bark if they want your attention. Like when they first wake up, they want to see you. They're fascinated by them. I have an Italian Greyhound. My little Chihuahua really likes them too. She just sniff at them if you have them in your hands when you're feeding them. I think they're about done with us for today. They're gonna go back to sleep and wake up at 10. They don't want to play with us anymore.
sessió que tornarem a fer de forma virtual a través d'aquesta plataforma. Bé, donar-vos la benvinguda i dir-vos que Instamap segueix
Good morning. It's my second try with the Oswego. This time, I just cut off the flowering tips with a little bit of bleach. It's dry. Isn't it pretty? And I'm just going to use it a little and see what that is. I think last time the problem was it was just too strong. So this is about how long I can wait for this to steep. So I really want some tea right now. That's the color I'm going for. I might have been able to get it a little bit darker by letting it steep some more. But I'm hankering for a cup of tea. So this is Oswego, also known as bee balm, and wild bergamot. Monarda is the flower in the garden. And I'm just going to have it with a little honey. I still smell that medicine-y smell that makes this a really good herb for making a wash on sores and things. Put it in my love cup. Love like crazy today, baby. Oh wait, there's that orange flavor that the wild bergamot is named after. Okay, the secret is just don't use too much. So these guys are dry. I'm gonna put those in the jars, and I think I have a new winter favorite. I'm gonna head over there and do a little bit of the astrology for today. On our Patreon page, I write a little ditty every day because many of my patrons say they want to learn astrology, and they want to learn tarot, and they want to learn herbalism. So every day I'm kind of dripping in a little bit, and I don't know about you guys, but that is the best way that I know how to learn. Is I call it the drip by drip method.
Hello, whoever's watching, say
It
something.
works for me in A Course in Miracles too. But the other thing that I do is I carry it into my life, and I call it one little thing, where I just glory in and celebrate my one little thing.
Don't be stingy. Say something, Nickel.
Is consistency. And this
I'm just watching some crazy shit on YouTube. I'm bored.
amazing. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Love like crazy. Oh, really? He kept crying because he said, I am bored with the hallway and your room and the bathroom. And I'm telling you, I really want to go out and see what's going on. I can handle myself. I'm the big boy. So I'm walking. The key is consistency. And this Oswego is amazing. I love it.
Well, I don't know who this motherfucker watching me, bitch, but say something. Goddamn, say hello. If not, send me some fucking donation. PayPal.me/KadraBanks87 KAYDRABAAKS. You stubborn broke bitch.
And the bathroom. And I'm telling you, I really want to go out and see what's going on. I can handle myself. I'm a big boy. So I'm walking in. Well, that is very brave of you. Oh. That is way too brave of you. This is way too brave of you. All right, that's more like it. How about we just go back in the house and you wander about in there? Hmm? Well, this is a big new world. I don't think we're going to be able to keep him on the farm now that he's gone to the big city. I think we should go back in now. I'm concerned about the girls. What if the girls come? Can we please go inside? What kinds of ifs do I have? Say hi to Mama. His inner instincts have been stirred by hanging out over here. Or the pigeons, the fluttering of the wings makes him perk up. What is that, and what are those feelings that are stirring in me? I think a whole new world is opening up for you, Rogomatic. Oh, do you like that? Rogalicious? That balances your hormones, no wonder. I was out getting some tea this morning, and I have a surprise in my garden. This is some ginger I planted a few years ago. This is my very first ginger flower. What beauty or what? I'm going to give you a little update on those onions. You know the scallion onions that you buy at the store, and then you usually cut the little rooty ends off. I usually leave about an inch on the rooty ends, and then I plant them back in my garden again. These big onions that you see here, that comes from the scallions, and they'll grow pretty flowers, which are good for the bees. And then these are all the ones that I planted the other day. Look how fast they've grown. Amazing, right? I'm going to give you a little update on those onions. You know the scallion onions that you buy at the store, and then you usually cut the little rooty ends off. I usually leave about an inch on the rooty ends, and then I plant them back in my garden again. These big onions that you see here, that comes from the scallions, and they'll grow pretty flowers, which are good for the bees. And then these are all the ones that I planted the other day. Look how fast they've grown. Amazing, right? So let's get another since we're talking about updates, we'll get another update on the microgreens. So our black oil sunflower seeds, you could say that they're a fail, but we're going to give them a little bit more time before we put that moniker on them, because these are still edible and delicious, but they're usually just a sea of green like this. Our speckled peas, interspersed with a few black oil sunflower seeds, are delish. I don't eat them at this point, maybe a couple more days, and I'll show you in our salad. And then these are the buckwheat. See the little seeds coming off the top here? These are delicious salad green for tonight. So beautiful. Just gorgeous. Rogie, tell Mama you don't go back in your room anymore. You just go back and forth and wriggle your bells around and hop up on stuff. Right, Rose? No. Getting close. Got all my boxes put together. Now I'm going to start getting things put away. Rogie is now out in the kitchen and he feels like a big boy. Wait until the girls find you, Rogie. I haven't done a lot of filming today, guys. I'm so excited though. I've completed my my goodie boxes, my monastery goodie boxes for our tier 4 ones. I'm sorry, Evil Pentacles group and these particular goodie boxes are for our group of patrons that was in, let's see, what was that? That's for August. So I have a whole new group coming in for September too to add to this. It's just going to get much more fun. And I just love these boxes. They're full of all kinds of goodies. I'm not going to share with you guys what's in here because this is going to be a surprise for our patrons. But this was my project today, and it was all in their boxes. It took me a while to, all the stuff that's in here is completely handmade, except for one video thing. And I'm really excited to get these sent out, so my next thing is to get on the computer and do all the postage stuff, but how wonderful this is. How wonderful this is. Oh, it's done. And you're so cute. I'll do a little video on this later so that you guys can see what was in it after everybody gets it, okay?
Hola, bona tarda i benvinguts en aquesta sessió d'Instamaps. Aquesta nova sessió que tornarem a fer de forma virtual a través d'aquesta plataforma. Bé, donar-vos la benvinguda i dir-vos que Instamaps segueix sent una eina molt i molt important per apropar-nos a l'explotació de la geoinformació, en aquest cas a Catalunya. Així, a mode de resum, us podem dir que ja l'any 2020 va sorgir més de 102.000 usuaris registrats, amb accessos de més de 1,3 milions i més de 250.000 visors o mapes generats. I no només això, sinó que aquests visors han tingut l'ordre de 8 milions de visualitzacions, un aspecte gens despreciable. De fet, aquesta jornada es correspon amb la número 111 que fem d'Instamaps, la primera de forma presencial i darrerament en aquest format online, que potser no és el més còmode, però que sí que ens permet seguir treballant i seguir explicant-vos novetats, canvis i millores que s'han anat integrant a l'eina. El que sí que no ha canviat ha sigut l'objectiu d'Instamaps, aquest objectiu inicial que ens van marcar i que segueix intacte, que no és ni més ni menys que amagar la complexitat de treballar amb la geoinformació, alhora que garantim una alta qualitat en els visors i en les funcionalitats i característiques d'aquests. I és un fet important, i potser cada cop ho és més, que en el fons s'està treballant amb la cartografia oficial de Catalunya i amb la toponímia oficial. Un aspecte que a vegades passa desapercebut, però que no oblidem que és força important per evitar a vegades sorpreses que trobem en altres tipus de cartografies, que es fan servir també de forma general, que tenen normalment un objectiu més de gaire comercial i realment es treballa en aquells entorns de forma selectiva, aquells que generen un benefici més directe. En aquest cas, nosaltres, com a proveïdors de cartografia oficial i de la toponímia oficial de Catalunya, el que garantim és l'homogeneïtat i aquells visors que feu i que tinguin una amplitud de tot el país, teniu garantida l'homogeneïtat de la informació que hi apareix. No hi haurà més informació d'uns jocs que en nosaltres. La durada d'aquesta sessió durarà aproximadament 1 hora 30 minuts aproximadament, i després obrirem un torn de preguntes al final per allargar i allargarem que faci falta, mirant de no sobrepassar aquestes 2 hores que ens hem marcat per intentar ser puntuals de finalització. Com sempre fem, la presentació serà de la plataforma es realitzarà de forma molt pràctica. Tornarem a explicar-vos a través de 3 visors que faran inicialment la Montse Ortega, del grup de Geostar, una de les desenvolupadores d'Instamaps i la que actualment més s'està dedicant a manteniment i millora d'aquesta plataforma. La Montse començarà amb un visor una miqueta més senzillet per garantir que aquells que tingueu el primer contacte amb Instamaps podeu entendre quina és la nostra funcionament, i a partir d'aquí el Marc Torres, que ja molts de vosaltres coneixereu, també membre de Geostar i aquestes ànimes d'Instamaps per a dos visors una miqueta més complexes. El primer, intentant aproximar aquest visor que es generi amb una eina de gaire sí, i el segon en el que es treballarà sobretot amb el format de les dades. Finalment, recordar-vos que us oferim, com sempre, la possibilitat d'organitzar alguna sessió específica a la vostra organització o grup de treball si considereu que realment Instamaps pot aportar un valor important a la vostra feina, ja sigui en el dia a dia o en projectes concrets. I a banda, convidar-vos a contactar-nos per resoldre qualsevol tipus de dubte sobre la plataforma o a nivell general, fins i tot en l'àmbit de la geoinformació. Recordeu que en aquest sentit volem ser el vostre punt de referència en l'ús de la geoinformació a Catalunya. I bé, per la meva part, això és tot. Us deixo les dues ànimes d'Instamaps, que són el Soltera, i després el Marc Torres. Montse, quan vulguis.
Hola, bona tarda. Em dic Montse Ortega, soc desenvolupadora dins del grup Geostar i us faré una petita introducció a Instamaps, us explicaré la base de més i us faré un petit mapa d'exemple i a continuació en Marc ja us farà uns mapes una mica més nivell avançat. Ara us compartiré una pantalla. Aquí tenim la pantalla principal d'Instamaps. Com podeu veure, aquí és la pàgina principal, que és on tenim tota la galeria, la descripció d'Instamaps i de més. Com us ha dit en Sergi, Instamaps és una eina que permet crear mapes de forma molt senzilla, compartir informació i treballar en línia amb informació sobre un mapa de Catalunya o del món. En la pàgina principal d'Instamaps tenim l'apartat d'inici. Després tenim la galeria. La galeria és on tothom que fa mapes els publiquen de forma pública, es poden compartir. Aquí podeu veure tot tipus de mapes que fa la gent, per ajuntaments, per entitats, per usos, per mil coses. Després tenim l'apartat de blog.